So I'm here with the legend that is Dave Courtney. We've known each other for quite a bit of time, haven't we, Dave?
Pretty much certainly have, sir, yes.
Yeah, we've done a few DVDs, you've done a few low-budget films of mine. You rode a tank in one of them, if I remember.
I ran over Brendan, that was one of the most enjoyable things of my life.
The other one, I think you ran around the garden, exposing yourself, I think. Do you remember that one, back in the day?
I'd rather not talk about that, Liam. I'm supposed to be a G. I'd rather not talk about that.
Okay.
In fact, whoever's listening to this, Liam there has seen me in the most compromising positions of my life. And he's been around me for many years with a camera on his shoulder, filming everything I've done in my house for day and night, and knows me better than any man alive. That is the truth of it. That is the complete truth of it.
That is true. That is true. I'll tell you the funny thing that I want to tell people about Dave is you never know what's going to happen to you when you turn up and meet him. Am I allowed to say about the time that I picked you up?
Anything you want to talk about? You've got to let them know that I told you I didn't want to know what these questions were.
Yes,
No, I didn't want to know what these are. So these are to me the same as...
Yeah, you have no idea what I'm going to ask. There's no idea. So that time that I picked you up at a photo shoot and you said, could I drop you home in the car? Am I allowed to talk about that?
Yes, of course.
What happened? We were driving along. You said, could you just stop off at this house for 5 minutes? So you led me into the house and what was going on with that?
Hey, you can tell me. You tell me.
Well, then you were there with this woman who was dressed up in a police outfit. And then...
You can tell me say what you see.
Yeah.
Say what you see.
You just don't want to incriminate.
We made a blue film, right? We made a blue film.
Yes.
I went in there for a coffee shag. She didn't mind you being there. It all got really wrong. She had a police uniform on, and you took the film. I was a bit younger and skinnier then. It wasn't a bad blue film.
Yeah, you look well. Which was...
It's going to be this kind of an interview. You just completely
No, it's going to be a proper one. But, what amazes me about you, Dave, is that women just kind of like turn up at your door, and then they move in.
I don't think it's me. I think it's a reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And all these women love a naughty boy. And because I'm actually quite eloquent as well, it's quite easy to, I've got my feet on the floor, Liam, right? I'm a 50, 60-year-old short, fat geezer, right? I'm looking at, I ain't thinking I'm a Chippendale, but you've got that naughtiness sign over your head, so they just want to run off and fuck you in the broom cupboard. No one wants to go and run off into the sunset and marry me. They just want to shag or shake a cock and that 6 feet down to the ground. You know what I mean? I actually build those broom cupboards all around the house.
But your life is so weird. You live in a castle. You throw parties. You've done, been involved in bare knuckle. You've had a criminal past. So anyway, I thought I'm going to ask you about like 15 questions. No link to any of them. Right, Roy Shaw or Lenny McLean? Who was the toughest? Who did you like best?
Lenny McLean was the toughest. Roy Shaw was closest to me.
What did you think about Roy?
I like Roy. It was very Neanderthal. Very Neanderthal kind of man. They're easy to work out. Don't fuck me, I won't fuck you. Nothing complex about him. But sometimes with different chemicals or a bit of alcohol in the wrong company, that could turn into your worst fucking nightmare. Not the sharpest pencil in the box, but most probably the strongest one.
Well, did you like Lenny McLean? Did you know him well?
I like Lenny McLean. A lot of work with Lenny McLean, not for many years. He worked here for a time, and I worked last night. It was a club next door. I've known him for many years. The very first time I was ever on telly in Bermondsey for the documentary, me and Lenny was talking together. I fought on Lenny's shows. I actually sparred with Lenny. It's one of my most embarrassing boxing stories. I sparred with Lenny, and it only lasted 22 seconds, and 10 of them was the count. 10 of them was the extra. So, that made me retire from boxing and take off playing football.
You organised the security that's when you sort of became known to the public, for Ronnie Krays' funeral. How was that to organise? And did you meet the Reg and what happened?
Yeah, I knew Reg and Ronnie quite well before then. That's why they gave me the job. The job was offered to me because when he died, the funeral parlour rang Reg and said, look, we're getting bomb threats at the funeral parlour. Not everyone's a Reggie fan and Ronnie fan. And they said they're going to come and burn the building down. What we're going to do? So Reggie rang me and went, Dave, I want you to go get a couple of blokes to sleep in the fucking room for the dead blokes is hard. And one of the ghosts is Ronnie Kray. You know what I mean? Fucking hell, stop it. But,
I mean, how weird was that? Then, you know, you're in the funeral parlour.
I think it was weird. There's all sorts of different people turning up all through the day and night that wanted to go in and see him and kiss his body, and you didn't know who was who, and, you know, you had to be very careful. It was weird. It was weird.
Was it like a difficult thing to put together, or, I mean, because it was so huge, wasn't it?
It was difficult because I didn't have the amount of time that anyone else would have to organise something so big, but you know, 750,000 people. I've got the best 150 people that can keep law and order among the loyalists. Yeah, you know, the 750,000 people there were criminals, would-be criminals, have-been criminals, fans of criminals. You know, a lot of it firm, but because it was a monarch of the underworld that had passed away, they all had to go and come and pay respects. Well, the man who had security keeping that lot apart had a fucking job in their hands. You understand what I mean? That was a big old. So I had Mr. Newcastle, Mr. Birmingham, Mr. Liverpool, Mr. Manchester, Mr. Glasgow. You know, I do the best 150 men that I had in my armoury. And when I looked at them all when they met in my front garden before we went, you know, I know this sounds childish and stupid, but it gave me such a buzz. I wanted to go and invade Iraq. Then I fucking go to beautiful. You know, it was an army, and they had to look after 750,000 people, and I wanted people that not could just beat you up. And you know, I was thinking the people throwing a brick through the glass-sided coffin carrier and all that, and I didn't know what the. I needed people that were going to frighten you enough not to do it, not a silly little 22-year-old ginger spotty copper who's going to lock you up for one night, but scare the fucking shit out of you. And I gave them an army, and when criminals are supposed to, you know, comment no pictures, the collar up, hide in the shadows, there I was with my 150, standing there loud and proud for the world to see. We are burying the land and monarch of the underworld, and I took it on as an honour and thought that my business is going to thrive. And it actually brought me to the attention of the public the next day and the authorities, and went, destroy him, shut him. No one should have an army like that. That's organised crime. The first show of organised crime that was
God.
The first showing of one criminal organising all the other criminals up and down the country. Everyone that worked for me that day had their own criminal CV. Had to come down here and pay respects to the death of a criminal. But they just, it was horrific for them. So they set out that minute to shut, destroy and close down anything to do with Dave Courtney. You know, divide and conquer, that is the...
Do you regret then doing it?
For all the trouble it's caused me, and marriage and financial loss and everything, I'd be a fool to say, no, I don't. But for the honour of doing it, because of what I actually thought of them at the time, it was so great that I would have got shot for him. You understand what I mean? On the day, right? So now I'm 30 years older and thinking, what the fuck did you do that for, you silly bastard? The fucking the dairy that's brought on me, you know what I mean? Jesus. But I do remember how I felt on the day.
Yeah.
The closest thing to a premature ejaculation I've ever had.
Did you have much to do with Reg? Was he all right on the day? How was he?
Reg was cool, yeah. I see Reg every single week, or at least every other week for 15 years, 20 years. Introduced me to Tony Lambriano, and I already knew Joe Pyle then. That Reg really was my mentor. I was a good friend of Frankie Foreman, Lenny McLean, Bruce Reynolds. I was already their friend, so...
Which one of the chaps then out of those had the most influence on you that you felt, you know?
Without a doubt, Joe Pyle.
And why was that?
He was the glue that held everyone else together, right? The first rules of war, including the police business, are divide and conquer. And when that little firm that we all had was a firm, one big firm, and everyone got on, and computers weren't invented, and everyone just took each other at face value, and everyone got on, and it was powerful and strong, it was enviable. But when he died, up on Facebook and going, I'm blocking him or I'm not going there if he's going, and all that shit. They turned a big major firm into a load of little splinter outfits. And it's easy to control a little splinter outfit. When you was a firm, it was different. It was just different. And Joe Pyle held that all together. Well, I'm not saying he was the biggest, naughtiest player in it, but I'm saying he was the glue. He was the brains behind the outfit. You had the Frankie Foreman for the naughty bits. You had the Krays for the glory hunting. You know, you had the Richardsons for the brains to earn the money. You had everyone had their own little bit, but they was all equals in the R&R club.
So I filmed you once doing a tour where you worked with Carlton Leach, Howard Marks and Jason Marriner. What do you think about those guys? Was Howard Marks close to you? Did you know him well?
Howard Marks were very, very, very close. Howard Marks is the one that got me into doing all this with. So I went to go and see him. And he was just standing on stage, sitting on stage, telling a story in this front room. I did cool, being funny, and I do that all day long, every day. Even if there's no one in, I talk to myself to make myself come. And I thought I could do that. And then we've done shows together. We've been all around the world, me and Howard Marks doing shows together. One of the most funny, intelligent.
It was a character, wasn't he? Right character.
Oh man, wow.
Yeah. What a life.
Jason Marriner and Carlton Leach. Carlton Leach I've known all my life. We were dormant together in the West End. We fought beside each other. You know, we don't know his strengths and weaknesses. And you have to be, I'm afraid, involved in that football scene. You understand the gravity it pulls you, the loyalty it makes you, shows you that flag, what you're prepared to do for your supporters. So 6.5 days of the week, you're a fucking greengrocer. On Saturday afternoon, you're standing among 20,000 people, all pointing the same way, going, "Woo!" Like, it's addictive, and football hooliganism was something that combat fighting is the most normal, everyday thing for a man to do. That's what we're about, alpha male, right? And that brought you close to that, and it was addictive. And you have to understand loyalty around it. It's not just thuggery. You know, they've got another little thing going on, and especially in their league where they were the top boys. So yeah, I enjoyed doing it with them. You're always in their own field, yeah.
So one of the first times I met you many years ago was at one of Charlie Bronson's weddings. Did you have because you did the after, like the reception for the wedding?
I've done Bronson's wedding reception, yeah.
Yeah, and what did you have a relationship like with Charlie Bronson? Do you still?
I had a fantastic relationship with Charlie Bronson after the actual beginning. You know, like the very first time we ever crossed words or I met him, he frightened the absolute fucking shit out of me. I ended up going to prison. I was in a cell underneath him. Dave Courtney coming into prison, everyone said, "Oh, Dave," and took a little bit of his thunder. And at 3 in the morning or 2 in the morning, I'm lying there awake looking out the window and I heard, Courtney, you fucking bastard. I'm going to bite a hole in your chest and suck the life out of you. And I was like, oh my God. I thought the only chance I've got is there's someone else in here called Courtney. Maybe there could be something like that. But no, it was me. And I never knew he was in solitary. I didn't know that I might not bump into him in the next day in the dinner queue or the library, or I might not bump into him. So I didn't know what to say. And now the whole prison's awake going, Bronson stayed on Courtney, what's Courtney going to say? And I didn't know what to say. You know what I mean? And I thought I might even meet him tomorrow, so I've gone in my best South London gangster voice. I've gone, Johnny. I felt better in other words. If I'd have known, I would have never bumped into him. And I'd have could think different. I'd gone back off where I used to do that. I didn't know. I'm just being honest with you, mate.
Actually, the very first time I met you, I interviewed you about Mad Frankie Fraser, and do you miss him now that he's gone?
Yeah, I didn't sleep for nearly 20 minutes. No, listen, I'm not Frankie Fraser hater. He hated me. I didn't hate him. I didn't generally. I don't hate him. He's an old man. But he put it in his funny, being funny about me. Right? So I don't miss him. I never really liked him. I'm afraid I'm one of the unlucky ones who actually met him and knew him. So I haven't got the myth about him. I know the truth. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit awkward for me to say I like him. I don't want to be horrible.
No, of course. Moving to a different thing, what was your worst prison experience that you've had? You've been in a few times.
I can tell you the truth, but you won't believe me.
Right, do tell.
I was lying in prison. I was up there in Norwich way, I can't remember. And I was in my room and I was looking out the window, and I don't like fucking spiders. And a spider come down, I was looking out the window of the full moon, and the spider come down in the middle of the moon, like a horror film. On the inside of my cell, the lights was out, and it dropped into the cell, and I knew it was in there, right? And these spiders up there, there's something called a reed spider. It's the biggest spider in Great Britain. It fucking lives on where this prison is. And it was in my room. And I just panicked and shit myself. I put my feet out on the floor so it can't drop on me. Lying in the middle of the shit, I panicked. But that's not going to be the worst. Well, my worst prison story is I borrowed someone's phone. It was a flip phone. And where you had to wrap it up, she stuck it up your arsehole when you finished with it. Well, I wrapped it up in a cling film. I turned the ringer on and took the braiding thing. I stuck it up my arse, and I'm standing here with it up my arsehole in the dinner queue, and all of a sudden my bum went and everyone looking round, and I didn't know what to do, and then it went and then it all looked roughly in my area, and I started trying to make a noise when the noise was going. Oh my God, mine, I've got diarrhea, mine, I'm going to shit myself. I'm trying to do it in the southern bit, and it was going, I'm pushing it out of the way, saying I'm running to the toilet. I'm fucking shit myself, and I've run into the toilet, pulled out my arsehole, broke it up, threw it down the toilet, and no one bothered me in there anyway. I'll smash all your phone up, sorry, here's 500 quid. Get me up, and I got caught with it,
That is funny. I mean, I've actually filmed you coming out of courtrooms, and I think I was even a character witness for you one time. How many not guilties have you had?
23.
And how come?
You can't do that no more. Listen. I'm talking about another era, and you could put up anyone you wanted as a witness to say anything if you had some good witnesses. Like the car crash. If you had a car crash, you get one of your mates to say, "I saw it," you get paid out. But if you go and shoot someone and you get 20 people go and call and say, "No, Dave was with us, he heard the bang, ran over there, picked up the gun, and then the police turned up and he looks like he shot." If you've got 20 people saying that, like a fireman, a fucking TA major, all that, that is element of doubt. And you have to be found not guilty. So I just had a million friends always defending me on things that I did, and I was clever enough. If I was ever going to go and do a bit of work, I'd bring 4 witnesses with me, leave them in the queue at the post office. When I done the post office and left, by the time the police turned up, there weren't no witnesses, just my 4. And I said, a big, tall, ginger black man left on the horseback that way. If I did get caught, they turned up at the police station and went, "No, that weren't him." But now you can't do that because there's Facebook, and as soon as you put up someone to say they're your witness, they look on your Facebook and go, "This is your friend." You can't use all your mates no more. You graft yourself up. You put them all on your fucking Facebook, and now the police look at it, and you can't use him as a witness. So you couldn't get away with what I did. You know what I mean?
No.
Different era.
As I say, known you for a long time, and I've always found you you're great, funny, charismatic guy. But you get stick on the internet. Well, why do you get stick on the internet? Well, what is that about?
Because I'm popular. Listen, the truth is, there's a little grasping out there. The truth is, I played policeman. I got caught. He went, "I'm not paying Dave. I'm paying Dave. He's not paying me." Right? So we went the 8 months to go to court with him, telling I might be a grass. In that time, I'm getting Mr. Popular, running for fucking Lord Mayor, got my own column in a magazine, on all the TV shows, and the old Bill went, "Stop it. He just turned up to court dressed as a clown and punched a copper in the mouth. And everyone's going, ain't you a funny guy? Just seen you on Vanessa. Stop it." Right, so they started up this thing of upper grass. Well, I've heard the upper grass, but I answer it all one word. Who? My solicitor right out. Or when or what? Anyone I've ever worked with can only ever tell you they're at least, no one will ever say around the wage right up. There's no one in prison anywhere in the world going, ever met, and I know. These are 4 billion. I'll get an email from someone in Botswana calling me a fat cunt. I mean, what the fuck? What the fuck? There's no one I actually. I don't lose no sleep over it. If you do know my house,
Yes.
front door's open, our back door's open. I live at Camelot Castle, Chestnut Rise, upstairs. Come round here and tell me, because I am not to my door and say, if Ronnie and Reggie Kray, Charlie Bronson, Ronnie Biggs, Joe Pyle, Freddie Foreman, Roy Shaw, Lenny McLean think I'm all right. I'm not worried about what some cunt in a pub thinks down in Woolwich. You know what I mean?
This is a completely different question now. There's been a big fight thing that's been supposedly going to happen, or I think now we pretty much know it's not going to happen. The John Fury, Micky Theo fight. Had you any view on that? Did you think it was going to happen, or what was...
I know Micky Theo a good few years ago. I know Micky Theo. I don't know about boxing-wise, but he was a tasty bastard then. He was one of the biggest fucking things you'd ever seen walk the earth. I mean, a bodybuilder that was full of the juice and didn't mind a fucking row, you know what I mean? It was a very tasty bit of fucking kid, and I would not like a roll about with any of them. But in a boxing ring, Tyson's dad's been doing it for too long, and he's an hard old bloke, and I think Mick might come a little bit unstuck there, so he's had a touch. So I don't think it's going to happen either, to be perfectly honest. I can't see it.
It does appear that it's not going to happen.
It's got a bit too spiteful, verbally.
Yeah, I think that's probably the reason it may no longer happen. Only a few more questions now. You've had a criminal past, I believe, so people say. Any regrets about it?
Yeah, getting caught always a bit of a bastard.
Yeah, that's not good, is it?
No, I haven't done big, massive sentences. You know, I've only got one bullet hole in me. I haven't had a bad life, so no, really, I haven't really got regrets. I've woke up with a few really happy women. Yeah, I regret that.
So last thing, have you got any message to people out there during this crisis thing that's going on?
Yeah. Don't waste your time doing fuck all when you've got this amount of time to be indoors. Don't waste your time. Find something constructive to do. Right? Don't waste this amount of time. There's loads of time in your life you'll go, oh, we've had the time to do it, we've done it. Get off the fucking setting, turn the Netflix off, and don't waste your time. Do something constructive. Something.
One of the things people don't know about you and all that, you do a lot of carpentry, don't you?
Well, if I'm ever accidentally narcotically propelled,
Yeah.
and everyone's got deep, and I can't get an hard on, and I'm just walking around on my own, I do go in the shed and get the tools out, yeah.
It's true. People don't know that about you, do they?
That is the truth, but you know that in my pants, in the building, and it's only when the light comes and the birds start singing and the gear wears off, I think, what the fuck am I made? What the fuck is that? I need to put a serving axe in the wall of my house that goes into next door. That's how fucking bad it goes into the wrong house. I'm going to put a fucking serving axe in it. Fucking hell.
Well, I want to say that, I mean, I've known you for a long time, and I think anybody who gets to know you, I mean, you always give people such a great time and all that, and you're such a character. So, you know, hopefully we're going to do.
By the way, you're my friend, so
Yeah.
by the way. And to all you people, I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.
All right, mate. I'll speak to you soon, but really, thank you for doing that.
No, you're cool, man.
All right.
See you later.